something that I've never really gone over, and it's takedowns, right? But in jiu-jitsu, we don't have a lot of like space usually on our mats, so we usually start on our knees, right? And obviously there's a lot of things that we can do in jiu-jitsu, and when we're doing, we can pull guard, right? I can fight for that takedown, or I can just get into a different position, right? Like if I want to work on something and I'm fighting with him and I want to work on my side control, I'll give him side control, right? And now we're starting that way. But you know, when we're actually trying to fight, those are some things that we have to really think about what we're going to do, right? And so I have to think about the way I'm going to start to enter, right? Do I have both knees on the ground, right? Am I flat-footed? So do I have seal feet so I can stay lower than them? Am I up on my toes so I can be aggressive and be able to move and do what I need to do? So I have to think about all that kind of stuff. Am I going to just pull guard, right? Are we going to start here? I'm going to grab his hand and then boom, come right into the guard position. So there's obviously a lot of different things that we can do, but I want to go over a few things when I personally decide like I'm going to go for the takedown from here. Okay, so just like when we're standing, I have to think about hand fighting and controlling his head, right? Just like how wrestlers do, or like legit competition submission grapplers, and then obviously getting him off balance. Okay, so it depends on what stance you kind of take when you're doing this. I like kind of this combat stance because if people start pulling guard on me, if he comes up and he just pulls guard, boom, now I can start coming into passing right away without really even thinking about stuff. Also keeps me balanced. So if he starts to like push me and like want to start getting these takedowns, I'm still in an okay position to do, okay? But the first thing that we'll go over is just like a basic arm drag. So we'll start just like if we're both, and this works from any position, but if he's on both knees, right? And we start kind of getting this position, who's gonna get the arm, right? And who's gonna start fighting. A lot of times people don't know what they're doing. They just like start grabbing the head, start pulling down or pushing, trying to get back in the back on his heels so we can just finish that takedown. But kind of the most efficient thing for us to do is for me to get him in a position and have me move around, okay? So when I get in this position, when I start hand fighting, I usually try to keep his body kind of away from mine. I don't like grabbing the head and like snapping down or like grinding and doing that kind of stuff. My ears aren't that messed up, but I don't want them to get even more messed up from what they are, right? So as soon as I kind of get this position, I see where his hands are, okay? Now, the same hand, the same side that I'm on, I'll usually try to grab the wrist when I'm going for an arm drag, okay? And now from here, as soon as I have position here, I'm moving his elbow in, okay? And as I'm moving it in, my other hand is gonna come up and grab the tricep, okay? So I start doing this, boom. And now from here, I have a little bit of an angle. And that's all I need, because now from here, I just gotta fill that gap with my body. And once I have this position here, I can just grab around his body, or I can just continue to grab his hip and hold his tricep and drive him down, keeping that position for side control, okay? And it's super easy. I just have to make sure that my timing is okay, right? And this is kind of different than obviously a wrestler or some Olympian's going to teach you how to do the arm drag. This is just what it's worked for me. So we're kind of here, 1, 2. Now I get this position. I can just fill this gap, and I can grab this hip, keep this position on his elbow, or grab the outside hip or his knee here, and just continue to drive him down to finish that position. Okay. The other thing that I can do with an arm drag is I'm moving around him, right? So as soon as I get this position here, outside hand, I'm moving him here. I'm gonna slide my body, boom, here. And now from here, I'm taking his back, or I can start dumping him the same way to finish that position that I want, okay? So it's just a basic arm drag, and you can do an arm drag from any position. If we're standing, stand up real quick, and I'm in this position, 1, 2, boom. And I'm inside, taking him, right? If we're on our knees, same thing, 1, 2 here, and I'm coming inside. I can do it from the guard, right? 1, 2, 3, and I'm coming up to take his back, right? Even if I have him in a full guard, right? It might change because the level's the same, but I mean, it's different than everything else, but I'm not doing this position. I'm still doing the exact same thing with that arm drag in order to take his back or get the takedown. So all I'm doing is getting his elbow in the middle of his center line, and I'm getting on this side of his body to totally take him down. Okay, so let's work on that, and then we'll move on to the